Hi, good afternoon and welcome to my channel. If you haven't met me before, my name is Jerry. So previously we talked about how sin could not be redefined, and obviously we went on to talk about sexual paraphilia. So today I just want us to talk about another type of sexual paraphilia called pornography. So you know that people have claimed that pornography can be healthy or normal and therefore is doable. Well, one of the reasons that some Christian couples engage in pornography actually includes things such as seduction trigger. Now, with seduction trigger, this is a situation where couples probably feel inadequate in terms of um, there's no hunger for each other, there's no arousal between the two, and therefore they want something like a porn movie or probably porn novel just to motivate or arouse that feeling between the two of them. Another group would be triggered into committing to porn because they feel it is educative. Now, with the couple that would feel that porn is educative, this would represent those people that probably got married as virgins or feel they are inexperienced and therefore they need something extra to teach them the different styles that are involved in sex or the different positions or what, the other type of activities. So these guys might probably want to just engage in porn. But you also have those that consider porn to be an afters. Now, with these afters, it's just like where you've had it's just technically like having your dessert after your main course. So, for these uh, guys, they would happily meet with their spouse quite all right. However, they're never satisfied after sex. So they want to just watch porn after sex in order to give them that full satisfaction. So similar to this, also you have people that consider porn as a comfort zone. So this is where they have their fulfillment in times of crisis. So if they have family crises or even personal crises, they would run to porn. And porn is their safe zone where they feel accepted by probably the porn stars or where they tend to be like, right, this is the right place to get relaxed. Probably it might not even be crisis. Probably they've just been to work and returned from a very hard day job and feel I just need time to relax. And their relaxation time is just part of spending time within porn atmosphere. And for these people, porn is just normal and therefore they want to do it for these reasons. Obviously, there are three schools of thought within porn, and that would include those set of people that do think that porn is educative. Like I said before, these people just want to learn what to do to maintain their marriage as a happy thing. And then you've got another group that feel that the Bible is silent in terms of whether we should engage in porn or not as Christians. And these guys just feel whatever makes you happy. If you feel that you want to engage in it, go ahead because it's not a sin, because they feel that the Bible has not explicitly condemned porn. And you've got the third group, obviously, that feel that the Bible prohibits porn. Well, there's probably a last group that is just those people that just feel, and this is purely within them, they're not sure if the Bible is against porn or not, and therefore they just sit by the fence and quite um, open to whoever would convince them. So today, then, I just wanted to briefly tell you something about porn, and then next week we'll be looking at the curses behind porn usage. By saying the curses, that actually tells you that I'm of the opinion that the Bible explicitly rejects porn, and obviously you've got a Bible passage up here. But before then, in the secular world, porn is considered to be is actually derived from it was derived from Greek words prostitution or harlotry plus written or visual materials that display sexual organs in order to stimulate sexual arousal. So that's what porn generally means in our today's world. But that's not how God defines porn. God actually defines porn in a different way. It is all about the message being communicated. So this goes beyond the kind of clothes you wear. So you don't have to be naked, or you don't need to watch someone naked to time what you're doing to fall within the pornography jurisdiction or perimeter. And some of the examples would be in Ezekiel 23:14 and 16. Here you've got men, these are soldiers, dressed in their full regalias, wonderfully and elegantly dressed people, not showcasing their flesh in any way. And yet you then have Israel and um, so Judea and Samaria, so Israel as a whole. God had used them to portray. So in this case, I think I should have said that this passage is actually about infidelity, but God used this infidelity, Israel's infidelity to him, to show us things about sexual paraphilia. Here, God talked about porn as we would define it today. God also brought in BDSM, masturbation, fetishes, and all that. You'll see that as we continue. So, the point I'm trying to make here is that these sisters, they saw men that were carved on the wall, and these men just looked so elegant, very strong looking men, and they lusted after the men and wanted to have sex with these men. And so they sent people or messengers to contact these men. So remember, this is always how porn works. Porn is never the final outcome. Porn is just the messenger or the link to the final outcome. So when people watch porn, as you know, in our day today, they end up making telephone calls to whoever they want to sleep with. They go into sexting. They go into fantasy within them, and or they probably go into watching some extreme type of porn. So that's what porn does, and that's what happened to these two sisters, Judea and Samaria. So in this case, God is saying to us that it is evil and not proper to watch carvings or images placed on the wall, which is these images are actually equivalent to today's, you would say, still pictures like those ones you would find in magazines, female magazines, or probably men magazine as well, I think. Some novels and movies, billboards, adverts, so many of our adverts. So some of the adverts you see today will be classed into this. And obviously, that's what this scripture is saying. So the contradiction between world or secular definition of porn and the biblical viewpoint of porn is that God sees porn to go beyond nakedness. And you would see also in 2 Samuel 11:12, here God talked about how David had gone to peep at a woman's nakedness, which obviously ended up putting him into trouble. And the next type of porn is um, uh, found in Matthew 5:27 to 28, where Jesus actually, again, like the first one, um, cautioned men, obviously, and women as well, that when we look at people, no matter how much nice they're dressed, when we look at them and we fantasize about sexual activities, that actually amounts to porn. And that's why our secular world definition does not meet up to the standard of God. And obviously, in some scriptures, porn is represented as defilement, fornication, or sexual immorality, as well as other things. So why is porn a sin then? Well, porn is a sin because first God has explicitly said that porn is a sin, and we don't have an argument against that. Well, secondly, as well, because porn is infidelity against God, it is infidelity against our spouses, even when we watch porn alongside our spouses, so or even when we think they know, that is infidelity against them. And so we can also go further to say that porn is a physical or spiritual filthiness as well. And when you bring all of those points together, it becomes rebellion. And what's rebellion? Rebellion is a very big sin, which we would see as we go further with our book discussion. And therefore, I'll leave you with this because obviously I tried to make this as short as possible. So next week, our next lesson will then look at the curses that come along with porn, because what people don't realize is that porn has some curses, and I'll give you real life examples. It might take us beyond just 1 week to look into the curses. So just stay tuned in. If you haven't actually subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe so that you know when I make a new video. Well, thank you very much for tuning in and stay blessed.